Good Friday morning. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are tracking Beryl and its potential impacts to southeast Texas. We very well could see those high rip current risk come into play as we head into Sunday and last through Wednesday. We're also expecting increasing rain chances next week. With the latest forecast track, everyone along the Texas coast should really be monitoring the latest forecast as we are going to see this strengthen back into a Category 1 hurricane just prior to landfall. As of the 10 a.m. advisory, Beryl making contact with land, weakening into a Category 1 hurricane moving west-northwest at 16 miles an hour. We are waiting for the reemergence of that storm to come back over open water. That's when we're going to get a better understanding of where this is going to might be headed as we head into the coming hours. But it's looking more likely that the timing has been bumped up just a little bit as we're expecting that to come over open water later on this evening. By Saturday morning, it's going to be in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico, eventually strengthening back up into a Category 1 hurricane. We are expecting this to have a more northern track, and it's looking more likely that the center of that track is going to be skirting the Texas coast. Therefore, the center of that storm likely remaining over open water for a longer period of time. And so when that happens, that usually continues to maintain its strength, especially if it will strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane. Eventually will weaken to a tropical storm by Tuesday morning. That could be, folks in San Antonio could be looking at tropical storm force impacts for the start of our next week, eventually a tropical depression. So we are also tracking the rain chances with this as it continues off towards the northeast. So as we look at the latest model plots, there's a little bit of a disagreement on the potential impacts of where along the Texas coast this might be. We're able to see a very wide cone with this. Of course, there's a degree of uncertainty there, but we're tracking the latest, especially as we go into the next several days. So looking at the latest weather models, heavy rain definitely possible from central Texas all the way to South Texas. Corpus Christi likely getting most of the impacts from this storm, but we could see up to 2 to 4 inches of rain here across the Houston area. So we are tracking that as well as the changing forecast as we go into the next few hours. So as we look at the impacts for us here, also keep in mind that as we go into Sunday into Wednesday, we're going to see that high rip current risk in place for us across our coastal areas. So be extra careful if you are out and about as we go into the next few days. So the current tropical alerts are still under that tropical storm warning for folks in the northern Yucatan. I could only imagine once this storm reemerges back over open water, more tropical alerts will be issued, especially for the South Texas coast or North Mexican coast. So that's the latest in terms of the 10 a.m. advisory for the National Hurricane Center. We are tracking the latest, and you can find the latest update on KHOU.com as well as on the KHOU 11 app.